The Roman Empire did not just conquer territory, it conquered knowledge. As Rome expanded across 3 continents, its physicians absorbed the medical traditions of every civilization they encountered. Greek medicine from Hippocrates, Egyptian pharmacology from the papyri, Persian remedies from the trade routes. And then they did something no other ancient civilization had done at that scale. They organized it all into a system. In the 1st century AD, a Roman army surgeon named Dioscorides wrote a 5-volume encyclopedia called De Materia Medica. It cataloged over 600 medicinal substances with detailed descriptions of preparation, dosage, and application. That book became the most authoritative pharmacological reference in the Western world for the next 1,500 years. Not 100 years, 1,500. A century later, the physician Galen refined Roman medicine further, developing the art of compounding, combining multiple herbs into synergistic formulations. And Pliny the Elder cataloged the natural world in his 37-volume Natural History, documenting hundreds of plant medicines observed across the empire. Rome did not just use herbs. It built the framework that Western medicine would follow for a millennium and a half. This is educational content, not medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional before using any herbal remedy. Today we are covering 12 herbs from the Roman medicine cabinet that modern science has confirmed actually work. And stay until the end, because number 12 is a plant the Romans valued above gold and then drove to extinction. Scientists may have just found it again. If you are new here, welcome to the Green Domain, where ancient wisdom meets modern science. If you enjoy uncovering the scientific truth behind history, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss our weekly investigations. Let us begin. Number 1. Fennel, the soldier's herb. Fennel, Phoeniculum vulgare, was one of the most prescribed plants in Roman medicine. Pliny the Elder specifically recommended fennel for eye problems, and Roman gladiators ate fennel believing it gave them strength and courage. Dioscorides prescribed it for digestive complaints, kidney problems, and to promote breast milk production. A 2012 review published in BioMed Research International confirmed that fennel contains anethole, fenchone, and estragol, with carminative, anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and galactagogue effects. Clinical studies have supported its use for infantile colic, menstrual pain, and digestive discomfort. The gladiator's herb has real pharmacology behind it. Number 2. Marshmallow, the wound soother. Marshmallow, Althea officinalis, was used extensively across the Roman Empire. Hippocrates used it for bruises and blood loss. Dioscorides documented its healing properties. Horace praised its laxative effects. Roman military doctors applied marshmallow to toothaches, insect bites, and irritated skin. Marshmallow pollen has even been found at the Roman fort of Bearsden in Scotland, confirming it was carried with the legions. A 2018 review in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed that marshmallow root contains mucilage polysaccharides with demulcent, anti-inflammatory, antitussive, and wound-healing properties. Its mucilage content coats and protects irritated mucous membranes, which is why it was used across the ancient world for sore throats, coughs, and digestive inflammation. Number 3. Rue, the herb of grace. Rue, Ruta graveolens, held a special place in Roman medicine and culture. Dioscorides prescribed it as an antidote for poisons. Pliny wrote that painters and engravers ate rue to preserve their eyesight. The legendary King Mithridates VI of Pontus reportedly included rue in his daily antidote formula. He took it to protect himself from assassination by poisoning. Modern research has confirmed that rue contains rutin and other flavonoids with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antispasmodic properties. Rutin, named directly after the plant, is now used in modern medicine to strengthen capillary walls and treat chronic venous insufficiency. A compound named after a Roman herb is now a pharmaceutical ingredient. Number 4. Valerian, the sleep root. And this is where Roman pharmacology starts connecting directly to what sits on modern pharmacy shelves. Valerian, Valeriana officinalis, was prescribed by Dioscorides and Galen for insomnia, nervousness, heart palpitations, and trembling. The name itself comes from the Latin valere, meaning to be strong or to be well. Roman physicians considered it so important that it was included in virtually every formulation designed to calm the body and promote rest. Galen specifically recommended Valerian for sleeplessness, and it remained a standard prescription in European medicine through the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. During both World Wars, Valerian was used in England to treat the stress and anxiety caused by air raids. A 2006 systematic review published in the American Journal of Medicine analyzed 16 clinical studies and found that Valerian significantly improved subjective sleep quality without the side effects of pharmaceutical sedatives. The active compounds, valerianic acid and isovaleric acid, interact with GABA receptors in the brain, the same neurotransmitter system targeted by modern benzodiazepines like diazepam and lorazepam. Roman physicians prescribed it for sleep 2,000 years ago. Modern neuroscience now understands exactly why it works. Valerian is typically taken as a capsule or steeped as a tea from dried root, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Studies have used 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Number 5. Wormwood, the bitter healer. Wormwood, Artemisia absinthium, was one of the most important bitter herbs in Roman medicine. Dioscorides prescribed it for digestive problems, intestinal parasites, and fever. Pliny documented its use as a stomach tonic and reported that chariot race winners at the Roman Games were given wormwood wine to drink, a reminder that even in victory, health must be maintained. Roman wine was frequently infused with wormwood to aid digestion after meals, a tradition that would eventually evolve into the infamous spirit absinthe, which dominated European culture in the 19th century. Modern research has confirmed that wormwood contains absinthin and other sesquiterpene lactones with anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antiparasitic, and hepatoprotective properties. A recent review confirmed its effectiveness against intestinal parasites, validating the exact use Dioscorides described. And there is a remarkable connection here. Wormwood is a member of the Artemisia genus, the same genus that includes Artemisia annua, the Chinese herb that won the Nobel Prize for malaria. The Romans were using a close relative of the most important antimalarial drug in history. The same plant family, the same genus. 2 different species on 2 different continents, both used for fever. Number 6. Nettle, the legion's fuel. Stinging nettle, Urtica dioica, was used throughout the Roman Empire as a food, a medicine, and a textile fiber. Roman soldiers reportedly rubbed nettles on their skin in cold climates to create a warming sensation, to fight the chill of northern campaigns. Dioscorides prescribed nettle for nosebleeds, respiratory conditions, and as a diuretic. A systematic review published in 2013 confirmed that nettle contains flavonoids, lignans, and lectins with anti-inflammatory, anti-diabetic, and anti-proliferative effects. Clinical trials have shown benefits for benign prostatic hyperplasia and seasonal allergies. Number 7. Coriander, the cooling spice. Coriander, Coriandrum sativum, was used by Roman physicians as a cooling, digestive, and antimicrobial agent. Dioscorides prescribed it for skin inflammations when mixed with honey or vinegar. Pliny documented its use for fever reduction. A review published in 2017 in the Journal of Food Science confirmed that coriander contains linalool, with anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, antispasmodic, and cholesterol-lowering effects. We are past the halfway point, and the remaining herbs are where Roman medicine connects to the most surprising modern discoveries. Number 8. Plantain, the battlefield dressing. Plantain, Plantago major, was one of the most documented wound herbs in Roman military medicine. Dioscorides wrote extensively about its use for healing wounds, soothing burns, and as a cooling poultice for inflammation. Alexander the Great reportedly used plantain to cure his headaches. Roman army medics carried it in their field kits. A 2013 review in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed that plantain contains aucubin and allantoin, with anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and wound-healing effects. Number 9. Lavender, the bath herb. The word lavender comes from the Latin lavare, which means to wash. The Romans infused their legendary public baths with lavender, but it was not just for fragrance. Dioscorides prescribed lavender for chest complaints and digestive problems. A 2012 clinical trial published in Phytomedicine compared lavender oil to the prescription benzodiazepine lorazepam for generalized anxiety disorder. The result? Lavender was equally effective, with significantly fewer side effects. The bath herb of the Roman Empire performs as well as a modern prescription drug for anxiety. Number 10, cabbage, the people's medicine. This one surprises everyone. Cabbage, Brassica oleracea, was considered the single most important medicinal plant in Republican Rome. Cato the Elder, one of Rome's most powerful senators and one of the most formidable figures in Roman history, wrote extensively about cabbage and considered it superior to all Greek medicine. In his treatise De Agricultura, Cato declared that the Romans had maintained good health for 600 years, using cabbage as their primary medicine before Greek physicians arrived and complicated everything. He prescribed cabbage for digestive problems, wounds, joint pain, headaches, and hangovers. He applied raw cabbage leaves directly to injuries as poultices, and he insisted that eating cabbage regularly was the single best thing any Roman could do for their health. For centuries, historians dismissed Cato as eccentric and anti-Greek, but modern research has confirmed that cruciferous vegetables, including cabbage, contain sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol, with confirmed anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, detoxifying, and anti-cancer properties. A 2015 meta-analysis found that high cruciferous vegetable consumption is associated with a significant reduction in cancer risk, particularly for lung, stomach, breast, and colorectal cancers. The most powerful Roman senator told his people to eat cabbage instead of consulting doctors. Modern oncology research suggests he was not entirely wrong. Number 11, Bay's laurel, the crown of victory. Bay laurel, Laurus nobilis, was the sacred tree of Apollo and the symbol of victory in Roman culture. Victorious generals wore laurel crowns in triumphs. Emperors were crowned with laurel, but it was also a medicine. Dioscorides prescribed bay leaves for digestive problems, urinary complaints, and as an insect repellent. A 2019 review in the journal Phytotherapy Research confirmed that bay laurel contains cineole, eugenol, and linalool with antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and insecticidal properties. Additional research has shown potential benefits for blood sugar regulation. The crown of emperors turns out to contain real medicinal compounds. Number 12, Silphium, the plant the Romans loved to death. I told you at the beginning that number 12 was a plant the Romans valued above gold. Here is the full story. And it may be the most remarkable in the entire history of plant medicine. Silphium was the most prized herb in the Roman Empire. It grew in a narrow coastal strip of approximately 125 by 35 miles near the Greek colony of Cyrene in modern-day Libya. Despite repeated attempts, the Romans could never cultivate it. It grew only in the wild, in that one specific region with that one specific climate. The Romans used Silphium for everything, as a spice in their most extravagant dishes, as a medicine for coughs, fevers, sore throats, indigestion, and warts, as an aphrodisiac, and reportedly as a contraceptive, though the evidence for this is debated among scholars. It was so valuable that Julius Caesar stored over 1,500 pounds of it in the state treasury alongside gold and silver. That is a plant stored in the same vault as a nation's gold reserves. The city of Cyrene put Silphium on its coins. The entire economy of the region revolved around this single plant. Poets wrote about it. Playwrights referenced it. The Roman playwright Antiphanes wrote a scene in which a character complains about the obsession with Silphium in Cyrene, listing Silphium stalks, Silphium leaves, and Silphium juice in exasperation. It was, by every measure, the most valuable plant in the Western ancient world, and then it disappeared. Overharvesting, overgrazing by livestock, and the inability to cultivate it combined to destroy the wild population. By the 1st century AD, Pliny the Elder reported that the last known stalk of Silphium found in Cyrenaica was sent to the Emperor Nero as a curiosity. Some accounts say Nero promptly ate it. The Romans had harvested their most valuable plant to extinction. For 2,000 years, Silphium was considered permanently lost. Scholars debated what species it might have been. Some suggested it was related to Asaphoetida. Others thought it was a type of giant fennel. No one could be certain. But in 2021, an Istanbul University professor named Mahmut Miski announced a discovery that made international headlines. He had found a rare ferula species growing near formerly Greek villages in the volcanic mountains of Cappadocia, Turkey. The plant Ferula drudeana produces a pleasant-smelling gum resin. Its appearance matches ancient descriptions of Silphium. Its shape matches the images on Cyrenaic coins. And initial chemical and pharmacological analysis confirmed that the resin has genuine medicinal and spice-like properties, supporting a possible connection to the long-lost Roman wonder plant. The research is still preliminary, but the possibility that Silphium may have survived for 2,000 years in a remote Turkish mountain village is one of the most exciting stories in modern ethnobotany. The plant that the Romans loved to death may not be dead after all. And that completes our journey through 12 herbs that built the Roman Empire's medicine cabinet. From Dioscorides cataloging 600 substances in De Materia Medica, to Galen developing the art of compounding, to Cato insisting that cabbage was better than Greek physicians, Rome did not just use herbs. Rome organized them. It built a system of pharmacology that defined Western medicine for 15 centuries. Every modern pharmacy, every compounding tradition, every herbal reference book in the Western world traces its lineage back to what the Romans organized. Romans set the framework, and when modern science tests the plants those Roman physicians prescribed, it keeps finding they were right. Fennel for digestion, confirmed. Valerian for sleep, confirmed. Lavender for anxiety, comparable to benzodiazepines. Cabbage for cancer prevention, supported by meta-analysis. And Silphium, the plant they loved to death, may be waiting in a Turkish mountain village for the world to rediscover it. If this changed the way you think about Roman medicine, subscribe to the Green Domain, because next, we are covering the medicinal plants you can grow in your own backyard. Drop a comment and tell me which Roman remedy surprised you the most. And if you missed our Greek, Egyptian, Ayurvedic, biblical, Chinese, indigenous, and power ranking videos, all the links are in the description. Ancient wisdom, modern proof, real results. I will see you in the next one.